Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Apothecary Diaries Season 2 episode number 8 reaction. So the previous episode we got to know more we got to know about Mother Royal. She was the like the person who was like from where everything originates, and we got to know her. We got to know the selection process that she made, where you have to go through a maze, and if you're able to pass the test, you are qualified to be the emperor. But obviously the current emperor, because all the other his brothers, they all passed away because of the epidemic, he didn't have to go through that. But now he's like kind of doing it to see what happens. So yeah, Mao Mao went with them, and in the end Mao Mao deduced that she had color blindness or something along something like that. She couldn't recognize a few colors, and that is the thing that she used colors to properly weed out anyone who's not really close to her bloodline, to keep the bloodline in in like the same thing. She did that to weed out the potential people who are royalty but who are not really closer to the bloodline. If the emperor couldn't do it, the con like their um, concubine, yeah, they can go with them. The royal concubines, they can go with them and help them out. And yeah, so to keep the bloodline in the same path, that's what they did. But obviously the blood became too thick. A lot of the emperors, current emperors, brothers died. So yeah, something like that. Anyways, Mama completely deduced that, and they were able to pass the test. And yeah, it was a very interesting episode. Uh, that's what happened, and it was interesting to see them, go through that maze and deduce the whole thing by the end of it. Right. Anyways, let's get started. Episode number 8. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Okay, what's happening here? Who's that? What the? Okay. Empress Dowager. What? Whoa, what did she do? She snuck in. Oh, bruh. Because of that? Yeah. Wow. Well, oh, so she herself said that, oh, let me go there? Great. Wow. Yeah, it is big. You can see this. It's a storage shed. It should be big. Oh, so Bro. Yeah. Yeah, you think? Wait. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. I guess that's what people are talking about. Oh, her. Oh damn, it's her. It's not Mama. Well. Hmm. You know what? Ah, that's true. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is dishes. Yeah. Oh my god. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Damn, mosquitoes. Right. Hmm. Right. She was talking about that in the. Okay. Trying to take. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Okay. You any balls? Okay. Hmm. That's true. No knowledge. Someone told him. Her. Yeah. Like we like realized that in the previous episode. Oh my god. Wow. It's just right. She's trying to get us. Oh, I thought that was a spider or something. Never mind. That's a. What is that? Cicada? Damn. Yeah, you squashed the bug on her head. Okay. Um. Yeah, it's cicada, right? Same as cockroach. Wait, what? Someone's coming? Someone's coming. We saw this girl in the. Oh, that's. So she is the mother of the emperor, right? Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't want to get involved in any more nonsense. Yeah, well, she went there before. Oh, wait. Interesting. Like when the empress had power. Hmm. Oh, she was also the one. So it wasn't the emperor. Okay. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe it was a pretty big deal, you know. Hmm. Yeah. Damn. Everyone else says. Yeah. Is the empress? Oh no. Yeah. Aren't she? Oh my god, she's here. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Wait, her voice. Oh. Um. Does the doctor privately? She wants to talk to Mama privately. Is this Harry Hayami? Oh, that right. Hmm. Hmm. Look into something. What? Girth? So her husband, late emperor, yeah. Well, first and foremost, curses, yeah, don't really, they're not really scientific. So, okay. Puppet of the Empress. Damn. Yeah. Right. Crazy. Deliberately. God. Oh my god. So they had to go a C-section. Yeah. Oh, it was him. Mm. So, mm. Which is obviously. Yeah, this is the thing. So the mother is the same, or is it like, obviously we know Jinshi is one of the. Okay, I'll think about it later. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, that's true. Open secret, yeah. Yeah, because it seems like she's also, yeah. The other girl, I forgot her name. She doesn't even speak, so I don't think she's going to say anything. Yeah, that's the problem. Hmm. Well, Lolan doesn't even speak. Hmm. What? Wait. So what happens? Oh. Huh. Damn. Yeah. Oh, this is her assistant, a lady in waiting, I think. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Oh. What is this place? Um. Was painting? What did it become? Oh, the late emperor raised and when he passed away. So this is her previous residence? Wait a minute. Yeah, because she said like mother. Hmm. After the empress died as it's dying. Okay, so he was old. Yeah. I wished he would go. Hmm. The late empress. Oh no. Was it empty or something? Like oh. Hey, yo. What? Yeah. Well, obviously, but did someone put in some kind of a, some kind of a material to, like, you can preserve like bodies, but right, true. Yeah, is there any way to? Hmm. All right, we're not going to hear it, I guess. Okay. Hmm. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. That was today's episode. Um, okay, so today we got to meet the Empress Dowager. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. And her name was like Anshi or something like that. I think first and foremost, I need to check something. Her voice actress seems extremely familiar. I cannot really put my finger on it, but let me check. Uh, Empress, because Anshi, yeah, that was her name. Uh, I'm just going to check her voice actress, Makimi Noto. Makimi Noto. No, so it wasn't. Okay, but why did I find it so familiar? Ichinose Kotomi from Clanad. Okay. Oh, that's why. Durandal from Honkai Impact. Ah, right. That's why. I was like, I've heard her voice somewhere from, like, it was just kind of, like in my ear. I was like, I've heard this somewhere. But right. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's why. Okay, so right now that is out of the way. So we get to meet her, uh, Lady Anshi, and like we met her before as well, obviously, but we like got to meet her properly. Like actually, like Mama got a few conversation with her, and the main thing in today's episode was obviously she has like a personal case for Mao, which is basically she will have to figure out if it was her who cursed the previous emperor, which is the emperor's father, I'm assuming. Right. Okay, so here's the thing. I just remembered in the previous episode, we had that scene with Jinshi, if you remember, where Jinshi was like, kind of just, like very, like, like that dream, if you remember. So there was that old woman, and then there was that the that guy, that old man as well, and then there was Jinshi's mother. So one thing I'm thinking here, like it has been hinted that Jinshi is the half brother or something of it's not been hinted, it's pretty obvious. They've like showed that as well before, the half brother of the emperor. So my question is, from from which side is the half coming? Is it the mother or is it the father? That's my question. And that is what also Mama was thinking. Mama was thinking today that like obviously the Anshi has another son, and like this son, like who, like I think there was a section where in today where Mama was kind of thinking, or kind of like that was overlapping with Jinshi. This part. Wait a minute. Let me try to find that part out. Um, here it is. Okay. Is the imperial brother really the son of the previous emperor? This question. This is a question. So obviously, the imperial brother is Jinshi. We all know that. But where does the half come from? Is it the mother or the father? It's probably the mother. So that would mean, like the empress had another, like someone else's son. I'm assuming. So who is this mysterious person? Who I guess we still don't know. Um, but yeah, so it's something like that, I guess. But again, there's a lot of mystery surrounding this whole like thing. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens, and how the whole thing, like what is revealed, and I guess we'll get to know little by little the actual truth as to what is happening. Like, okay, you know what? Let me go back a little bit. Here we go. If I remember correctly, the brother is 1 year older than me, Mama. Okay. The Empress Dowager must have been approaching 30 years old at that point. Okay. Obviously, no longer a little girl, which means Yeah, by that time the emperor was probably not. Yeah, so that is why Mao Mao kind of deduced is it's probably someone else's child. Um, is the imperial brother really the son of the previous emperor? Yeah, so there you go. That is the thing. So it was. I'm guessing in the previous episode that was the Empress Dowager who we saw in that flashback of like Jinshi. I need to go back and check that out. I guess I'll do that and see if I can recognize her now, because I forgot her, like how she looked like. Now today again, after watching her, I remember her again. So if I go back to the previous episode and check who that lady was who made that scowling face, if you remember, against that old woman, who was the grandmother. So that person is it this person? Is it Anshi? I'll need to go and check that, and then a lot of things will make sense. Right. Okay. So, anyways, she thinks she cursed the emperor because every single day she wanted the emperor to die. And obviously, like, if you think like that and the emperor actually dies, you would think that, oh, maybe it was my fault. Right. But a few things they kind of explain to it, they kind of give us like a little bit of a little bit of like context as to like the situation with the emperor, the previous emperor, not the current emperor. um, this part, where Lady Anshi's lady in waiting, I think that's her lady in waiting. She talks to Mao Mao about that room. This part, you know what? I'm going to read this part because I couldn't understand a few things here. But okay, first and foremost, the room is filled with painting, like colors and everything. There's like brushes and all. Weird smell. As like immediately, Mao Mao like got that smell. So the lady says, during the reign of our emperor's grandfather. Wait a minute. Our emperor's grandfather means the current emperor's father's father. That means the Empress Dowager's father-in-law. Yeah, the Emperor Dowager's husband's father, right? Emperor's grandfather. Yeah, that's what it means. During the reign of Emperor's grandfather. Okay, a court lady who became a low-ranking concubine lived here. Okay. This was the room of the woman who was referred to as the Empress. Wait, so this part. Anshi's Emperor Dowager. So the Empress would be her mother-in-law, I'm assuming. This part is so complicated. Like, this is the thing about like these type of historical shows. It's like so complicated with the relations, and like the whole family tree is just all over the place. Okay, so this is the woman who is referred to as Empress. So that means like the Emperor Dowager's mother-in-law, or you could say the current emperor's grandmother. This was the room of her. So the current emperor's grandmother's room. This was. I kind of while I was reacting to it, I kind of misunderstood this part. I thought this was like Anshi's room. Never mind. Um. Okay. This was also where the late emperor, which means Anshi's husband, or the late emperor. That means the current emperor's father. Um, Also where he was raised and where he passed away. Okay, so this person, the current emperor's father, and that person's mother, that is the father and the grandmother, both of them, like this was the grandmother's room, but this is also the room where the current emperor's father also passed away. Okay. Right. Okay. So now a few other things I need to understand here. Okay, so she goes somewhere else. Okay. During his final years, the late emperor, okay, and his mother, which is the empress back then, the Empress Dowager's mother-in-law, or the current emperor's grandmother, the current emperor's grandmother and the current emperor's father, both of them during the final years, yeah, spent a lot of time in that room. So mother and son, okay. Um, as if clinging to their memories, they spent much time there. The late emperor, perhaps due to a weakened spirit, drew his last breath in that room shortly after the emperor's died. Okay, so his mother died after he died. Okay, so the emperor died, the late emperor, obviously not the current emperor. The late emperor died, and the late emperor's mother, who was the empress back then, also died few years later, shortly after, as if chasing after her. Wait, what? Chasing after her? Wait, what? The late emperor, due to a weakened spirit, drew his last breath in the room shortly after the emperor died. Oh my god, this part is so confusing. Why did they write it like this? No, the empress died first, then the emperor. God damn it. This part is written in such a confusing way. Okay. As if clinging to their memories suspend that the late emperor, perhaps due to a weakened spirit, drew his last breath in that room, comma, shortly after the empress died, as if chasing after her. They wrote it in such a confusing way here. I was confused here. I was like, wait, what? Why her? It should be him, right? But no. So okay, so the empress died. So after that, due to weakened spirit, the empress's son, who was the late emperor, he also died, as if chasing after her. Yeah, okay. This may be too rude, but okay. So now, obviously, now this part I wanted to check this out because this part I was a little bit confused. It makes sense now in my head, right? So obviously, the question here that Mama asked after that, but that he was old at that time, right? So why is the Emperor Dowager thinking that she was the reason why he died? It could be just natural causes, like normal death. At which they said that the Empress Dowager cursed him every single night, like as if like, oh, I hope he dies, I hope he dies, and like that, then this happens, so she thinks it's because of her. Right, and I guess it makes sense why she cursed her. Like obviously, like a lot of people, as we get from the rumors, the previous emperor wasn't really that much of a, like emperor material. I guess he was like this type of a, like a, people called him the foolish emperor, like the puppet and this and that. And he had this whole thing about, like like the thing that he did, where he put his hands on, like like little girls, that whole thing as well. And his mother, the current emperor's mother, that is Anshi, she was also a victim of that, because the current emperor was born when, like Anshi was very young. That's why they had to do like a cesarean section, and Loman was the one who operated on her. um so that is why, I guess, I'm sure she must have had so much more grievances with him. So that's why she cursed him every single day. And then suddenly one day he passed away, and now she thinks it's because of her. So that's the thing, and that's why she asked Mao Mao that, I want you to check if this was because of a curse. Now obviously, like, curse isn't really like a scientific, like it's not really a thing, like, but obviously it's back in the days, people used to think about curse and everything. I don't think Mama believes in curses in that, but Mama probably thinks that there's something else in play here, which she's going to try to figure out. um, and the main reason why she thinks this is a curse is because the body which was left, in the coffin, the body that was left there, that is the previous emperor's body, and the mother's body was also there, almost for the same time. When they came later on, the mother's body was decomposed. Obviously, it's been a long time. Even though this place in itself, the storeroom was very chilly, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the other body decomposed. The emperor's body didn't. It was just as they left it, which is absolutely insane, because there should be at least a little bit, even if, like it was very chilly and everything, there should be a little bit of decomposition. Nothing. It was as if it was left on the same day. So that's the most weird part, and that is why she thinks like this is some kind of curse, and the emperor, like, is like something like supernatural is going on here. Obviously you cannot blame her, because it's such a weird thing. Now obviously, now I'm thinking, what, like, is there anything that you can put in the coffin which keeps the body fresh like that? But I don't think that is even possible, what type, like, there should be like, yeah, I'm sure there's stuff that you can put to reduce the decomposition rate, but to keep, like, for the body to be as same as the day it was, like there, like as the day, like, the emperor died, for the body to stay in the same state for this amount of time, I don't think anything is possible. Like, any kind of chemical or whatever is capable of doing that, right? There should be at least a little bit of decomposition. That's the weird part. So yeah, so that's the thing. So I'm thinking, what could be the case? One case is coming into my mind, which is maybe the emperor didn't die. You know, I don't know. And maybe the emperor didn't die. And currently, the body that is in there is actually the emperor who actually died. But then that would mean that he would have aged, right? Yeah, that is also the question. Then, you cannot like hide your age like that. If the emperor was alive back then and he did some kind of a, like, some kind of a trick. If you remember, the same thing was done by what's her name? That girl, if you remember in that previous episode, who faked her death and then actually died later on. If it was something along those lines, if it was something like that, then the emperor should have aged by now. It would be pretty apparent, right? That's also not the case. So it's not something like that either, I guess. So then what is it? Like, how can the body just stay the same? It makes no sense. Like, like I said, I'm not sure if there's any kind of like a plant or any type of chemical that can keep the body exactly as in the same condition as it was when that person died. I'm not sure if there's something like that. If there is, then I guess that's what's going on. But I think that is impossible, right? Like, there should be at least, even if it's like reduced, there should be at least some bit of decomposition, even if so again, I don't have much knowledge about these type of things, so I'm not really sure. I guess we'll have to leave it to Mao Mao to understand. I feel like we need a little bit more clues to properly deduce what is going on, because we don't have enough clues to understand what the hell is happening. So I'm sure Mama will start her investigation, and little by little we'll get to know. And yeah, like, I guess when all the clues are together, maybe we'll be able to understand what has happened. Either way, so that is the current situation, and that is what the Empress Dowager wants Mao Mao to figure out. Right. Okay, a few other things about the Empress Dowager, Lady Anshi, is that everyone has a very good outlook on her. Like, you can see Shisui as well today. She was like, oh, she's such a good person, this and that. Everyone, like, really looks up to her. She was the person who stopped the slave, like, like the whole thing, the slave thing. Also, she was also the one who stopped the eunuch thing, where, like, now, if you guys remember, it has been banned. Eunuches have been banned. They don't do that anymore. So that is also the thing. So obviously a lot of people, I guess, like, appreciated that and everything, and it had its fair share of problems, as we got to see, like, because like, they have been doing it in one way, like, if they suddenly stop the whole slave business, like, a lot of problem will start. Like, a lot of people who used to rely on slaves, they would be in trouble. A lot of organizations, institutions, and businesses also, like, relied on that. So if suddenly they stop that, there's a lot of problems will start, which we saw. And that is also why Mao Mao said these type of things cannot really be stopped like that immediately. Like, there's a lot of people still who do these type of things, but in a different way, in a, like, in a with a different name. They don't really, like, openly call them slaves anymore, but they do stuff like that still, like, behind everyone's eyes. And Mama also kind of compared, like, courtesans with, like, compared them to slaves as well, because, as she said, that they're also kind of similar. This part, okay, where's that part? From the humanitarian perspective, banning slaves was probably a good idea. Yeah. But aside from the slaves who were treated like animals, there are some, like courtesans, who use their bodies as collateral to borrow money. Yeah. This is legal and considered to be similar to employment. However, seen from the outside, courtesans could appear as to be slaves as well, because you're literally selling yourself, kind of like a slave, right? So in that sense, but in a way, like, from the outside, it's like employment, but from everyone's perspective, everyone the way they look at it. This is like that. So like what's that word, the way people look at it, like even though like officially like slavery has been banned and everything, a lot of people kind of treat like the courtesans like that because that's how they think about it, you know. Okay, the old lady said when the bans were announced, she felt a chill down her spine. Like I said, a lot of people like relied on slaves and everything, like a lot of big businesses and stuff as well. If suddenly they stop the whole thing, like they're going to be in trouble, big trouble. Like their whole like business is going to just go down completely. Businesses which are completely reliant on slaves and stuff. Right. Officially, slavery is banned, but in practice, everyone knows it still exists under a different name. There you go. Yeah, so that whole section we also get to know like how the Emperor Dowager did all of that, and like stopped the slave business and everything, the eunuch thing as well. Okay, and what else? Yeah, I think these were the two important things in today's episode. Like we get to know more about Lady Anshi, and like her circumstances, her past, and everything. And now Momo has been um, given a task to do. Now, okay, here's the thing. I feel like now that we are getting like Momo is getting directly involved, and he's going to be investigating the Empress Dowager and stuff related to her. There's a big possibility that she might actually get to know that Jinshi is the current emperor's half brother. Because already today there was a section where Mama was thinking whether the imperial brother, who obviously she still hasn't seen, is if he's really the emperor's previous emperor's child or not. Because the time doesn't really match. So yeah, there's a big possibility she will realize this, that she will like while doing the investigation, she might come across the fact that wait a minute, like Jinshi is actually like something like that. There's a possibility because yeah, now we're getting too deep into this whole thing. That's why. And to do a proper investigation into these type of things, you need information, you need facts, you need truths. Unless and until you have the whole like like the set of information and clues in front of you, you cannot do the investigation. And since this is about the Empress Dowager, Jinshi is definitely going to get brought up somewhere down the line. And I don't know, like let's see if she actually gets to know that Jinshi is like not any ordinary eunuch. Okay, anyways, but yeah, that was today's episode. Another interesting like episode with like a little bit of a, I guess you could say, like a little bit of like a prologue kind of to whatever's going to come, today's episode. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. What actually happened? Like the main mystery behind this is obviously like it's not about the curse. The main mystery is how was the body exactly as they left it. It makes no sense. How was that possible? Okay, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, there's another possibility. Maybe the body was moved. Maybe the body was moved and someone actually put it in ice. And again, on the day when it was checked, maybe they brought the body back or something on that day. But that'll be extremely like you need like precise information. Like you'll have to understand like like when the people will come back to check on it and stuff. Like how is it even possible to do that unless and until you have inside information? Like oh today will be the day the everyone will come and check on the body, so I'll have to bring the body back by then and present it as if nothing like yeah, that thing. I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see, because it's pretty weird. Like how did this happen? Okay, you know what, let me just read that section as well where they explain about the okay. Okay, is there any reasons for her to believe that this was a curse? Okay, this part. The late emperor's body, after his spirit left it, was placed in a mausoleum for a year, as in customary. 1 year. Okay, a year later, when our emperor and the oh, you know what? I guess since they said it's a year, I guess there wasn't really any reason to. It was open information, right? So anyone could somehow sneak in, move the body somewhere, move the body somewhere and put it in ice for 1 year, and exactly on the day when the empress is going to come back, like the Empress Dowager is going to come back and see the body, they can just bring it back then, somehow. That is possible, actually, because there has been they actually, it was no secret, 1 year immediately. You just have to keep track of the day, something like that, I guess. So yeah, that is possible. Maybe they transported it somewhere else and put ice, or maybe they just brought ice here, just brought it here in this place and put ice over there somehow and sealed it in such a way that it won't get decomposed. And then exactly on the day of when the empress is going to come, they just moved away all the ice and just kept it normal. And lo and behold, everyone's like, "What the hell? Why is this body just exactly as it left it?" Something like that, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. A year later, when an emperor and the lady Anshi took a look at the body to bury it, yeah, the body was almost exactly the same when he passed away. Yeah, there you go. Unlike the empress's, the late empress's body, which was decomposed. Right. Anyways, you know what? Let's wait and see. This like a big mystery here. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay, and that was that. Now, that was my overall impressions for today. Now, let me look at talk about this episode scene by scene. Let me see if I missed any scenes to discuss about. First and foremost, we had the Empress Dowager, Lady Anshi, over there looking at that room. Now we know why she was looking at that room. She was thinking about whether that was a curse or not. All that stuff she was thinking. And yeah, at the beginning I didn't really recognize her because it's been a while we've seen her. And back when we saw her as well, she didn't really say much back then in season 1. So now we get to see her properly. After that, we get to see Mao Mao has been punished into a storeroom, and Mao Mao's actually happy about it. She's like, you know what, this is great. I have more room. I can hang my herbs over there. I can hang my medicine, my chemicals over there. It's great, And we get to see when Mao Mao showed that lizard tail to that girl. I forgot her name. The lady in waiting. She said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm oh, obviously, if you continue this, Honyan Sama is going to get angry and she's going to move you to the storeroom." At which Mama was like, "You know what? That's actually a good idea. You know what? I'm going to go and ask her to do that immediately." And yeah, that's why she's here in this storeroom. And Hongyang is just confused. She's like, "What the hell is wrong with this girl? I'm doing this to punish her, and she's liking it." Oh God. Anyways, so here later on we get to see that apparently a rumor is going on that some crazy lady is just going around laughing and collecting bugs. At which Mama was like, "I'm not the one who's doing it. I stopped doing that after you fell unconscious." And then Mama realizes it's Shisui who's been doing this. So she's like, "I need to go and talk to her. Otherwise, she's making trouble for me." So she goes and asks Zhaorin, that was her name, right? Yeah, about it, and she goes and asks a few of the other ladies there. The other ladies were kind of afraid to talk to Mama because Mama's directly involved with the higher ups. So Mama brought out her secret weapon, which is Jinshi's handkerchief, and just gave it to them. And they told her where Shisui is. So Mama goes there, and okay, this is also the section where we get to see she finds the white blossom, the white flower and the pink flower. Obviously, these are the same flowers that we saw in the previous episode, if you remember. I think, which are used to make the abortion drugs. And she that girl put white flowers, if you remember, in the previous episode. And it's the same one, I think. Also, here Mao Mao actually says a few things here. One thing that I actually didn't understand up until now made sense here when Mao Mao talked about this part. This section, where she says that obviously, first and foremost, Shin was the one who was, like doing the whole thing to, get back at Lihua. So Shin, the reason why Shin suddenly started wearing perfume, this I didn't understand in the previous episode, or it was kind of unclear to me. Today's episode made it clear. So apparently Shin started wearing perfume to mask the smell of, I guess, these, like these things that she's been dabbling in, that she was trying to use. Okay, this part, to make an abortion drug. Here we go. Shin didn't wear any perfume at first. There you go. Since she was trying to take concubine Luha's place, it wouldn't be strange for Shin to avoid perfume, which would lead to miscarriages. Yeah. Still, Shin risked wearing perfume so she could secretly make abortion drugs. There you go. So she started wearing perfume to mask that smell so that nobody could understand. And that's why she suddenly started wearing perfume. I actually wasn't able to understand this, in the previous episode. I was thinking, like, why did she suddenly start wearing perfume? It made no sense. But now, after today's episode, in this episode, and after Mama talks about this, I understand now. It was to mask that smell that she did that. Okay, but the main thing here is, like, that's not the main point here. Mama here makes the point is that all these ingredients, obviously the first ingredient is this flour, then all the other ingredients that are required except for mercury can be found anywhere in the palace grounds, anywhere. And it's just there, here and there, you can, like, get them. Why did she get out of her way to try to get the chemicals from the caravans? That was not necessary. You can only try to get the mercury from somewhere else and get the other ingredients from near the palace. This means she has no idea how to make a drug, and she has been doing this with someone else's, like, intervention. Someone else told her to do so. That is why, since she had no idea, since she herself is not a pharmacist, she did what she was told. She thought that was the only way. That is why. Now the big question: who is this mysterious person who has been giving her pointers to make this, like, this thing? That is, like, the biggest mystery here. Obviously, this mystery still hasn't been solved, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, this is what she comes across. Shisui, I think that was her name. Yeah. Wait, you know what? The names kind of confuse me sometimes. Who is Suide? Because I'm mixing up the names, I think. Suide is... Okay, wait a minute. I'm not going to read this part because I feel like there's spoilers here. But I cannot recognize this girl. Who is this? Oh, Sweetie, that girl. Oh, okay. I can now recognize her. She's that girl, right? Who, who was, like, mysteriously, who went into that coffin or whatever. I cannot remember. Oh my god, it happened in season 1. Yeah, she also brought this up in one of the previous episodes as well. That's sweet. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is the thing. I feel like Mao Mao kind of suspects her because she knows about medicine. As far as I can remember, she was that girl, right, who was in that mound, where Mao Mao went there to find some, like, she was, like, we saw her in the later half of season 1, as far as I can remember, where we get involved with, Mao Mao's, like, biological father, if you remember that whole section. That was sweet, eh? Okay. And this girl is Shisui, right? I kind of confuse the two names a little bit. Anyways, so Shisui here is just trying to find, like, insects and stuff, and she just, like, gets an insect on Mao's head, which gets squashed, I guess. So Mao has to put water on her head, and she talks about, like, these insects very, like, enthusiastically. But this is where the Empress Dowager comes in, and there you go. So Shisui tells her about the Empress Dowager, Lady Anshi, and talks about how she was the reason why the slavery got banned. She was also the reason why the eunuchs are, like not allowed anymore. This whole thing doesn't happen anymore, the castration thing. So yeah, so Mama was thinking like, damn, so this lady has a lot of power, obviously. So she was thinking maybe something related to like medicine is going to get improved here. Maybe that's why she's going. Mama wanted to listen to it, but she remembered that Honyan and everyone else are going to get pissed at her. So she is like, I'm going to refrain myself. So later on, Honyan is being extremely like extremely like annoyed about a lot of things, a lot of Mao Mao's antics. So she's been tasked to like dust the room along with the other ladies in waiting as well. This is where Lady Anshi comes in to meet with them. So everyone dresses up, and Mao Mao's there. Gokyo is also there, and this is where we also get to know that Lady Anshi knows that Gokyo is pregnant. Obviously this is a big secret, but yeah, she knows about it, along with obviously a few other people, but she also knows about it. Right, so Mamo kind of notices that, and then later on, Lady Anshi tells Gokyo, or kind of signals to her, and says something like, "Oh, you like, yeah, like I want to speak to Mamo privately." Okay, one thing here. Okay, Mamo says that. Wait a minute. This feels more like two friends a few years apart, not wife and mother-in-law. Yeah, and then she's like, "Yeah, you're the lady in waiting assigned here from Jinshi's place." Okay. How does she know? Sweden told me. She said a. Wait a minute. It's her. Okay, again. Oh, Sweden is that lady. These names are so confusing. Wait. First and foremost, there's Shisui, who's that girl. Then we have Sui Rei. I think Sui Rei, right? Who is that girl who like, who I was like, trying to figure out who it was. It was that girl who we saw in the end of season 1, who is very mysterious. And then we have Sui Ren. Oh my god. Oh, this is why I was getting confused. There's so many names that are literally just one syllable different. Ah, okay. Yeah, now it makes sense. I was so confused. That's why I got confused here a little bit. I was like, wait, Sweden told me what? Okay, right. So yeah, that was Sui Ray, and this is Sui Ren. Sui Ren is that lady, the old lady that we met. Okay, so she was her lady in waiting. Yeah, used to be my lady in waiting. Okay, and that is why I guess Lady Anshi knows about her, because Suren is also the one who got to know that what's her name, Mao Mao is like like someone who makes medicine, that whole thing, and she also asked her for help about like that whole section with that case we saw in that previous episode, right? Anyways, and then after like I guess she talked to Lady Anshi about it, so Lady Anshi thought like, okay, you know what, she was able to solve that case, let me ask her about my situation as well. And that's why she came here to talk to Mao Mao. Okay, all right, it makes more sense now. Like it's a lot more clearer, because I just mixed up the names completely here. It was a little bit confusing to me up until now. Okay, so she says like like she talks about the situation. She tells her about the late emperor, and she says that you have to figure out whether I cursed him or not. Okay, and this is where Mama also gets to like tells us about who this late emperor was, what type of a person he was. People didn't like him. People called him like the puppet of the empress, and like people also said that he was bad, he was foolish, and not only that, he also like laid his hands on underage children, yeah, underage girls. So yeah, that whole thing. and like the this like Lady Anshi was also someone who had a kid when she was very young. That's why they had to do like a cesarean section, cut up and open her stomach, and that's why the current emperor is healthy, a lot more healthy, and like very good. Nothing, no complications during his birth. The doctor who had to become a eunuch, unfortunately, doctor who had to become a eunuch for this reason, who operated on her, was her adoptive father, Mamo's adoptive father. Okay, so yeah, that whole section, right, and this is also where Mamo kind of thinks about the imperial brother, that is, the current emperor's brother, whether he is actually the son, the biological son of the previous emperor, because the timing doesn't match. Okay, anyways, that was that. Later on, next we get to see Lady Anshi calls everyone to do a little bit of a tea party or whatever, at the back, and everyone was talking about, like, in Gokyo's place, everyone was talking about how Lady Gokyo needs rest, like her symptoms are showing symptoms of pregnancy, so it's very risky and all that. Mama also kind of thinks, like, who might be the people who might try to mess with her. First and foremost, Liha is not that type of person. She's not the type of person who's going to go behind people's back and do stuff, you know. And she herself, there's a possibility she herself is pregnant, so she's not going to take that risk. So she's not going to do anything or mess with the situation. And then we have the other girl. I forgot her name. Who? Wait a minute. This girl. What's her name? Wait a minute. Lishu, that's her name. Lady Lishu. I just realized all the girls, like the the courtesans. Sorry, concubines. Sorry, all the concubines. Their names, except Gokyo, starts with L. Lishu, Lihua, and Lo. Okay, this is why I get confused so much. Oh my god. So Lady Lucius might say something if us should do by her ladies in waiting, but I doubt that head lady in waiting, the former taster, would step out of line. So that's not going to happen. And then we have the other girl, whose name is Lolan. Right. She's strangely free of rumors aside from her flashy fashion. So yeah, she might not do anything either. So yeah, she was thinking of all of that. Later on, Hongyang kind of threatens her and tells her that, oh, don't you dare go behind Gyokyo's back. Your loyalty first lies with us. Keep that in mind. And Mama was like, God damn, calm down. I'll not do anything. It's okay. Oh boy. Anyways, and then later on, the current lady in waiting, she takes Mao Mao towards the back and talks to her about the whole situation. So brings her in front of that room, tells her that this room was the room for the previous emperor and his mother, and they stayed here. The mother, the previous emperor's mother passed away a few years later, or a little bit later. The emperor also passed away, and yeah. So the reason why the Lady Anshi thinks it's her fault is because she put a curse on him or something. Is because she cursed him day and night every single day until he died. But obviously that wouldn't be the case, only because there must be some other reason why she thinks about it. So yeah, because the emperor died at a very natural age. He was old. So why does she think like that? Because apparently the body literally stayed in the same state on as the day she left it, unlike her mother's body, which was literally beside it, which was decomposed. So that is the problem. That is the thing that makes her think that this is like some kind of a curse. But like I said, you know, like I said, there is a possibility that someone like moved the body or put like eyes into eyes and then waited for the day when the Empress Dowager is going to come here and put it back again. I don't know, something like that maybe. Otherwise, I don't see any other thing working here. Let's wait and see what happens. Mama is probably definitely going to figure it out. And Mama also made a request from this lady in waiting, which we didn't get to know what. So I guess That's another thing we'll get to know later on. Anyways, that is where it ended. So let's see what happens. And that was today's episode number 8 of Apothecary Diaries Season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Apothecary Diaries Season 2. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.